All right, I got a new review today. This is for another headless. I did a headless not long ago for the GW1, I believe it is. And I still have that guitar. It's actually a pretty cool guitar. So I ended up doing a trade, and I got this one here, which is the Legator. This is let me look it up here, the G7FP, G7FP. And this is right from Legator's website and stuff. So let's get right into it here, and I'll play for a minute. Actually, let me play first, and then we'll get into it for a minute. I'm using my Viper VP on my 6505 setting again. Again, scoot it down so you can see the guitar instead of my ugly face. Go to the middle position. Let's hit the neck pickup. I can even reach it. There we go, give you an idea. We can pick this back up here. And strap. You can take off the strap, we can see it real good. There we go. You can see it here. Of course, it has the fan fretted, the multi-scale frets and stuff. Honestly, it's barely noticeable unless you're playing like up here. You know, you just adjust a little bit, but it's not really that big of a deal, honestly. I've seen some. I used to own an Ibanez RGD something or other, and it had the fan frets, but they were way more, you know, angled way more than this one. This one's not bad at all. Right here, you can barely tell from the pictures really only that much fan fretted. You know, let's get into the specs real quick. As I'm saying, I'm at Legator's website. It has a bolt-on maple roasted maple neck on it. Pretty comfortable, super thin. It's amazing how thin that neck is. That's fantastic. It has, of course, it's a multi-scale fan fret. So this is 25.5-inch scale, clear down to the high E, and goes all the way up. And then once you get to your low B, it's a 27-inch scale, which is great. I mean, you got thicker strings, you definitely want to have a longer scale length always. 18-inch radius ebony fretboard here. With Ebony's fretboard, it's got the cool offset kind of inlays on it. You know, not the inlays, but the dot markers, fret markers on it, stuff like that. And it's got a 24 medium jumbo nickel frets on it. And of course, got a nice thick ash body, really cool. You know, of course, they just stained it. I like stained guitars. I like to see wood grain. They did that on this one. It's really cool. These ash bodies are a little heavy, but they thin this sucker out pretty good. It's not real heavy, like at all. Get them old Fenders. You know, they got them old Fender ash bodies, real thick. They're real heavy. Not like heavy-weighted guitars. Now, the Legator, they have passive high 2.0 humbucker pickups in there. You know. And, of course, like here, I play metal guitar. And I have no use for a tone knob. I just turn them all the way up and I don't use the tone knobs at all. And they actually did just the tone. I mean, excuse me, just the volume. That's all you need. It's all I need. Of course, it's got a 3-way switch on it for your pickup selectors and things like that. Of course, it has the bridge on here like that. Now, there's a few things I do not like about this. I have a lot of trouble, as you can see from me playing, I have a lot of trouble standing and playing because the strap button's clear up here. Usually the strap button's in the middle of the body, you know, on the side. On a guitar, it has, you know, a headstock. But here they have to have the, you know, the tuners down here, how you tune your guitar, because there's nothing up here, because it's a headless. And it kind of sits like this a little bit, and I play a little high. I pull my guitar strap up as high as I can because I play up kind of like up here more, opposed to being down. A lot of people play down. Whatever you like, it's fine. But it's kind of hard for me to play because it angles it up a little bit naturally, and my strap is as far as it goes. It's kind of awkward for me to play standing. Sitting, I'm good, but I have a little bit of trouble. Another thing, I have like my ERT, a GW1. It actually wired. You put the strings in backwards, and on this end, on the other guitar, you would have the ball end right here. However, on this, the ball end goes right through in here, and you just kind of run it through, click it in, and you put it and clamp it on, which is fine, but you got this problem, if you can see it from this direction. These strings I just cut, and these are pretty sharp. I mean, you could, if you bump into somebody, you're cutting them and things. You get them, I cut them as far as I can, if I can see that, yeah. That's how far they're still out a little bit. And that's kind of a problem for me. I don't know how people resolve that or fix that, but I do not like that, how, it's sticking up, and strings will puncture you like a needle. I'm sure we all been changing strings at one point, and we've been poked by one of them smaller strings, and ends up making poking us like a needle. It's terrible. Kind of hurts. But I don't like how they have that there as well. But these guitars are around $1,000. I mean, on their website, let's see what this one goes for. $999. They're nice guitars. They're heavy and things like that. But there's a few issues that I have now. You probably won't have the issue. I'm very weird about where my guitar is positioned on the guitar strap. But kind of sits kind of like this a little bit because I said like the strap runs up higher, so it's going to hang down a little bit more. And that might not be an issue for you, but to me, I like this. I like them a little higher when I'm on a guitar strap. And the other issue with me, which might not bother you, but this right here, how these strings are just snipped, and it can be sharp. I don't like that. Other than that, this guitar is fantastic. I love how thin the neck is. Look how thin that neck is. That's awesome. It's very comfortable. I don't play much 7-string. But this is a really cool one. I mean, it's so comfortable to play. It sounds great. The pickups sound awesome. And I don't have an issue with it all other than, the strap thing, which is probably wouldn't be an issue for you. And then I don't like how they got those, when you snip them, they're real sharp. But it is a great guitar. Was it worth $1,000? Not to me. And I always say it's not worth it. It really, whatever. And things like that. But it's a nice guitar. You get one used for a couple $100 cheaper. That's great. They do sell these. You can find these very easily used online and stuff, whether it be eBay, Reverb, whatever. But they're cool guitars. If you want a cool 7, you want to go headless. I like headless guitars personally. I mean, I don't like them more than guitars with headstocks, but I do like these. I have no problem at all with headless guitars. They're pretty cool. And this is one of the better companies if you want to go headless. There's a lot of things you go online. You'll find stuff from China with no-name brand stuff, whatever. But these guys they're out of the United States. I think they're out of California. But this particular one is made in Korea because, of course, they have to outsource to save money. And there's nothing wrong with foreign-made guitars. I love Japanese-made guitars. Ibanez for years has been going through Korea and going through China to make guitars and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's actually cool. But this is my review of the Legator G7FP. And I'll talk to you later.